Welcome to VRflow, the interactive cockpit procedure trainer. Before we get into how to use VRflow, we would like to remind you that VRflow is for educational purposes only and not for operational use. If you are a real pilot, you should always consult the FCOM, FCTM or SOP of your company and the aircraft type. After you launch VRflow, you will find yourself in the lobby. Here, you select the aircraft available in your installation of VRflow. After you select an aircraft, you can select which rank to train as, First Officer or Captain. If your installation of VRflow includes multi-crew training, you can also select Observer. Entering the cockpit, you will see the main menu. Here, you can select procedures from the list and change training settings. You also have a menu on your wrist. If you look at your left wristwatch, the wrist menu will appear. The wrist menu contains a number of functions. The first one is height adjustment. If you sit a little too high or low in the cockpit, you can adjust your height up or down using this. The wrist menu also contains a shortcut button to the lobby and a number of other functions that we will look at later. To get started with the procedure, select one from the lists. Choose your training settings on the right as desired. In training mode, you will be guided through the procedure with visual aids. In exam mode, you will get no visual help. Enabling error tracking will record if you press any wrong buttons during a procedure. Enable or disable the automatic crew member. If you want to train some specific procedures, you can select multiple and press start. You can also train all normal procedures sequentially like you would on a real flight by pressing the button labeled Start All Normal Procedures in the main menu. Press Start when you have selected your desired training settings. If you have selected training mode, you will be guided through the procedure. You must press the switches and levers that light up. When you have your hand on a switch, it will turn blue and you can press the trigger on your controller. When one switch is pressed, the next switch will light up. There are two ways of interacting with the cockpit: pressing an object or looking at an object. When you need to look at an object, such as an instrument, it will be highlighted with an arrow. Look at the object until the green checkmark is complete. If you don't see the next item, it may be behind you. You may also need to look at objects outside the cockpit, such as ground crew or traffic. You will get an automatic crew member to train with. The automatic crew member will perform the actions of the other pilot. You can enable and disable the automatic crew member from the main menu or the wrist menu. You can also adjust the speed of the automatic crew member. The procedures will distinguish between pilot flying and pilot monitoring. You can see your current role by looking at the wrist menu. Switches that light up in orange are the captains, and switches in green are the first officers. The colors will switch when pressing the Switch Roles button on the wrist menu. Switches that may be pressed by either pilot flying or pilot monitoring are highlighted in blue. If you're unable to trigger an interaction by looking at it, it may be because you have the wrong role. Try swapping roles between pilot flying and pilot monitoring, or enable the automatic crew member using the wrist menu. You can consult the checklist anytime by pressing and holding the A or X buttons on the controllers. Depending on your installation of VRflow, you will see an indication of where you are on the checklist. You can read an explanation of each step in a procedure by pressing and holding the B or Y buttons on the controllers. If you want to exit a scenario or go back to the lobby, you can do so using the wrist menu. When you complete a procedure or a series of procedures, you will be shown an evaluation screen with the steps you made and the time it took you. Explore mode enables you to freely explore the cockpit. Enter Explore mode through the main menu. In Explore mode, you are shown the names of the different panels and screens. Pressing a switch will make an explanation appear on the opposite controller, telling you about the corresponding system. If your installation of VRflow includes multi-crew training, you can train remotely with others. You may train alone with the automatic crew member by selecting single pilot training, or with others by typing in your name as others will see it, and select multi-crew training. If you are creating a training session, give the session a name, select an aircraft, and select your own role. Others will now be able to join your session by selecting Join Session and select your session from a list. You can access this video from the lobby or from the main menu by pressing the small help icon in the top right corner. Please remember that VRflow is for educational purposes only, and that the real aircraft and procedures may look different in real life. VRPilot does not assume any liability related to damage, injury, financial loss, or violations caused by using VRflow. We hope you will enjoy training with VRflow.